Good morning, my friends. Happy Monday to you. It is another beautiful day of thriving through collaboration, and I am so glad that you are here. My name is Skyla Mann. I did a Zoom last night, and after we were done, I realized I didn't even introduce myself, which really doesn't matter, but sometimes there might be people here who have no idea who I am. So I'm Skyla. I'm a Young Living Diamond that lives in West Des Moines, Iowa. And our family has been huge fans of Young Living for almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years come this summer sometime, late summer. And our story in a nutshell is that we just used the products for ourselves for the first 5 years and did not tell anyone about it because we didn't know we could or should. And then we had our eyes opened to the possibilities. I guess that's the best way to say it, because no one ever told us that we had to share, but we were kind of opened to this is what it could look like if you did. And once we started, we realized there were a ton of other people that were looking for natural options, that were looking for hope for their families. And it just, it turned into this beautiful snowball effect of I tell a couple friends and they tell a couple of friends. And before we knew it, our team was just exploding. So it's been a phenomenal ride. I can tell you with confidence that this single decision to join Young Living has literally trickled out to every aspect of our entire life and has changed everything for us. And I do not say that lightly. So stick with it. If you haven't had that kind of profound impact in your life yet, I can promise you this, it's coming. So this morning, I am going to be sharing with you an idea that I named the Star Factory. The idea is certainly not mine. It is certainly a concept that has been out there since the beginning of time, I'm sure. I happened to give it a name because it made it easier for me to talk about it. So I know that there are other Young Living leaders. Jody Meschuk is one that I have a great deal of respect for. And she kind of talks about the same principle, and she calls hers an army of ants, which I love because we know that it takes an army of ants to work together to move something bigger than they are. And that is essentially what we're doing here. So I call this the Star Factory. And what I would love to do is just have a little bit of story time with you this morning, okay? I would like to share with you how this came about and how we used it and what our results were. And most importantly, I want you to leave this morning feeling totally equipped and confident that you could go into your team and do the very same thing, okay? So this entire concept is a whole idea based on duplication and OGV growth. Does anybody want both of those? Hello, yes, for sure. And this is a concept that I learned back in 2015 when I was at Eric Worre's GoPro Recruiting Mastery event in Las Vegas. And I'm sure that most of you that are on, if you're on this call this morning, I am sure that you know who Eric Worre is. But if you don't, take some time to, get on YouTube and look at some of his trainings. He is phenomenal. And I know that Yvonne is doing some coaching with him right now and has shared just out of this world things with us. But this is a whole nother topic that I should do next Monday. But personal growth and development, you guys, is not optional in this business if you want to succeed. We have to do things that make us uncomfortable to kind of push us out of our comfort zone, because that's where all the goodness happens. And I can tell you for a fact that going to Las Vegas for a business convention is 100% out of my comfort zone. I do not care for that city at all. I don't like the hotels. I don't like the smoke. I don't like the gambling. It just does not resonate with my spirit. And I just keep praying, please, Eric, take it to a new city. Anywhere. How about in Montana? Surely they've got a hotel there. I love Montana. Okay. But so far that request has fallen on deaf ears. So if you want to go to GoPro, you got to go to Vegas. Okay. So here's the deal. The whole concept of the Star Factory can be summed up really, really simply by asking each of you to think about going out in your backyard and starting a campfire. I happen to have a fire ring in my backyard because my husband loves me that much. And that's what he made for me for Mother's Day a couple of years ago. So sometimes you'll see me post pictures on Facebook of my feet basking in front of a fire. I'm probably going to have one today because it's a good day for that. Anyway, when you start a fire, are you going to go to the wood pile and pick out the log that is 18 inches in diameter and toss it in the fire and strike a match and hold it to the bark and hope and pray that you get a fire started? Yeah, no. I see Jessica shaking her head. Duh, right? Jessica's had a fire before, clearly. So no, that is not how we start a fire. And that is not how we grow Young Living, okay? The equivalent to that would be enrolling a new member this afternoon and sitting down with her and saying, okay, welcome to Young Living. How about you hit Royal Crown Diamond this month and then we'll talk about the rest later. Like, that would be ridiculous, right? So what do we start with when we build a fire? We start with all the little kindling, right? The littlest pieces, the ones that are easiest to catch on fire. And then when they are burning, what do? We add on another log. Well, actually not even a log, another stick and a slightly larger stick, okay? And we build up to when we've got a good fire burning, then we can add on a log. And then it is sustainable. And then you don't have to mess with the little kindling, you know, every hour. You can just go from one log to the next log, and you can even go in the house for a little while and you can come back and there's still a fire burning. Okay. Some of you are connecting the dots and you get all of these analogies. Okay. I've gone on vacation once for about 3 weeks and really not tended my business and come back to find that, lo and behold, Angela was still there. Chelsea was still there. It's an amazing thing when you can get the momentum rolling and it continues, okay? So that's the nutshell. If you guys are smart enough to connect the dots, like, I could just turn this off right now, because the deal is we have to start with the kindling. And in our business, the kindling are stars. Okay? Stars are literally my favorite rank because I get the most excited when they catch the spark and they catch on fire and they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta go tell all my friends. And you know that a new member has a new circle of friends that you don't know. And so the fact that some of us diamonds have thousands of people on our team is not because we know thousands of people. It's because we encouraged each new member to talk to their circle, whether it be 2 people or 10 people or 100 people. And that's how the fire grows. Okay. So let's see here. We can get a roaring business burning by starting with the stars that are our kindling. And the magic of this, you know, if you wanted an obsessively large fire, you could pour gasoline on it, right? That would be a little dangerous, but it also makes a big fire, okay? I came from a farm and we used to burn off the road ditches in the spring. That was literally my favorite job ever. I get so jealous when I think about my folks doing that without me right now. But we can add gasoline to our fire in the Star Factory by pouring on the praise and the recognition. That is our gasoline, believe it or not. And if you don't believe me, it is a proven fact that people will do anything for praise and recognition. In fact, I know that I have read from several trainers that we will do more for recognition than we will for money. So think about that psychology for just a second. Are you Are you praising and recognizing your newest members for the little things that they do? Britta, you are down and on that. I will come and burn your road ditch today. That's a nice invitation. Okay, so here's the thing. We pour on the praise and the recognition early on to create a culture of action and activity. And once they realize that we are rewarding particular behaviors, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I like psychology and I'm a parent. And if you wanna see more of a particular behavior, you reward it. And if you wanna see less of a behavior, you ignore it or you stamp it out early. But this is pretty basic psychology, you guys. Make a big deal out of what you want to see happen and you'll see more of it, okay? So here's how I put this to use. In the fall of 2015, it was in October, I went to this GoPro event the 3rd week of October, okay? And I was close to hitting diamond. I was a platinum then, and I was kind of close, but I wasn't like just a few thousand in OGV away. It was a mighty leap, okay? But here's what I did. I came home from that event and let's back up to when I was still in my hotel in Las Vegas. I got so fired up about this idea that I called a graphic designer from my hotel room and I said, dude, I have this whole thing in my head. I need you to make a graphic. I've got to create a Facebook group. I need to teach my team about this. I need the picture. And he created it and it was so amazing. And that was the graphic that you may have seen with the little factory, and it has the little boxes going into the factory and then they change and then they come out little stars. That's what I wanted to create. I just wanted new members to come in. I wanted to teach them something and convert them to stars, and out they go the other side. So when I got home, I had talked to my top leaders. We put this into practice, and in just a few days, like maybe 4 or 5 days, we generated well over 60,000 OGV. Okay, and at that time, at the rank that I was, that was absolutely unheard of. That was crazy town. And the way that we did it was lots of people were reaching out to new members, or not necessarily new, but members that were between about 400 and 499 OGV. And they were saying, oh my gosh, we're so excited. You're so close to hitting the rank of star. Well, guess what? We have a lot of members on our team that don't know what that means. And so it started with education of telling them you're a star when you get, collectively you get 500 OGV, and you have to have a reason for people to do it. Okay, so you're going to get some happy mail from Skyla when you hit star. You're going to get praised and recognized on a graphic on the team page. You're probably going to get a phone call, like all of these things that aren't really huge, but it's something. And when we need to tell them what's in it for them, well, shoot, when you hit star, you're going to get some of your products paid for. So you're going to get a little commission. And I'm not saying like, oh, you can pay for your car payment. We're not talking like that, but think of it as a really nice coupon. That's kind of how I describe the star check. It's a really awesome coupon that if you got that in the mail for Target, you would make a special point to go redeem that coupon. Okay, so maybe it's $10, maybe it's $30, maybe it's $70. But if you describe the star commission as a coupon for more product, that's a pretty sweet deal, especially if they're putting in a 100 PV order on ER and they can get, 50, 60 bucks off on that order. That's amazing. Okay. So we've got to learn how to speak their language, and we are all guilty, you guys. We all want to know what's in it for me. We all want to know that. So think about it from the perspective of the member. how can you sell them on this idea that this really would be worthwhile to exert a little bit of extra effort, okay? So this is super, super simple. And I think a lot of us can get ourselves tripped up when ideas are too simple. Because we keep thinking like, well, where's the trick? Where's the catch? There isn't one, okay? And I want you to jot something down. If you like psychology, like me, there's a little bit of psychological background to this. And the place where I found the best description was a video on YouTube by another network marketing leader named Todd Falcone. And his last name is Falcone. And I think if you put in Todd Falcone and explosive growth, I think that will be enough descriptor. If somebody finds that on YouTube, if you want to drop it in the comments, you can. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that will take you to it. I haven't gone to YouTube to look for that recently, but that video, he literally taught about the campfire, and he talked a little bit more in depth about the psychology of it. That made a lot of sense to me. So the Star Factory is the epitome of helping people create mini goals, okay? It's our low-hanging fruit. So we are working specifically with people who have already said yes to Young Living. You don't have to sell them on the idea that Thieves rocks. They've already enrolled. So truly, this is our warmest of warm markets because they're already on your team. Don't forget that, okay? We want to capitalize on the fact that once they've tasted the simplicity and the success of hitting Star, that they're going to come back for more. They're going to get a feel for the culture of your team and be like, you know what? It's kind of fun to do something and get a little pat on the back. And it's kind of fun to get a little, piece of Happy Mail coming my way and a little commission check. I think I might want to try for Senior Star and see what happens then. Okay. And as it turns out, not to be a spoiler, but it actually gets better the further you go. Okay. When Young Living starts kicking in the swag, it's real good. Okay. So let's just break it down real quick here. Who specifically is the Star Factory for? It is designed for members who would like to get some or all of their essential rewards paid for. Now, they might be brand new members, or maybe they're members that have been on your team for 5 years and they've been consistently ordering their 200 or 300, PVER orders. And you finally say, listen, you have been so faithful. You have been such a good team member. I would love to partner with you to see if we could get some of that paid for. Now, when you're looking out for their budget like that, don't you feel like they would be receptive to at least saying, well, what do you have in mind? I mean, the worst thing they're going to do is say, no, I just want to keep spending my money, all of it. I don't want any back. And that's okay. We'll take that. But I love trying to prove to people that I have their budget in my heart to look out for their family. And right now truly is a great time because we can genuinely and authentically check in with people to see how they're doing. And everybody probably has budget concerns on their mind to some degree. And if you want to just help them stretch their dollar a little further, this is good, okay? So the Star Factory principles and this whole concept can be implemented anywhere by anyone. I did create a Facebook group, which is still in existence. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'll be totally honest with you. I haven't given it the love and attention that it deserves lately. I may kick it back up again, but to be honest, that the Star Factory group that is currently in existence, are any of you guys in that? Do you know? A few of you are. Okay. So that group, it grew so astronomically. And I honestly believe that in order to make it effective, it needs to be kind of your people. It needs to be a little smaller and more personal. And right now, I should have checked before I started, but there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in there. And I'm, I'll cheer them on from a distance, but I can't possibly get into everybody's life and be like, okay, what can I do to help you be a star this month? It just doesn't work like that. So here's what I did. I created the Facebook group. I would personally ask people, are you interested in becoming a star? And I would tell them all the things we just talked about, the perks. And I wanted them to consciously say, yes, I'm raising my hand. I would like help becoming a star. Because when somebody does that, there is a part of their brain that literally clicks into gear. And after they said, yes, I want help, that's like the first big step. So then I would physically put them into that Facebook group where now it's like a party and we're cheering people on and we're sharing ideas on what they can do. And we'll talk about those. There's really only like 4 things that you can do to be a star. It's not that complicated, okay? It's pretty simple. So we would just remind people how to share and, maybe host a class, host an online class, talk to your friends, talk to your mom, whatever. And so in that group then, as soon as somebody would hit star, oh my gosh, the bells and the whistles went off and we'd throw confetti and it would be a party. And then the next person would do it and we'd do it again. Well, that works amazing if it's your team. If you have 20,000 people in there, that's a little bit trickier. But people still every now and then post recognition and say, congratulations, so-and-so hit star. So my recommendation would be, if you put this into practice, create your own Facebook group if you want to do it in a Facebook group. And you may not. You might even want to use a Marco Polo group and keep it really light and lively. You're creative. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. But basically, I was trying to create the camaraderie and the community of all the people who said yes, okay? Let me get back to my notes here. Okay, so on the front page of the Star Factory right now, I have a graphic that says, so tell me who should join the Star Factory. This is such a great question. Thank you for asking. This fantastic little group was especially created to help guide women and men who are brand new to the idea of sharing Young Living with their friends to the very first rank of star. A very important note, each and every person that gets added to this group should have been asked if they wanted to be added first. Please do not throw a bunch of your friends and team members in here without their consent. And as I just said, that's part of the magic, okay? They have to consciously say yes. So it is not like an Instapot where you put a bunch of people in and then magically push the button and boom, they're stars. They have to say, yeah, I want to jump in, okay? We do not focus a ton on the business side of Young Living in the Star Factory, just because we want the primary attention to be directed to sharing with just a few friends. Nothing hardcore, just fun and natural. Please do not fill this page with things to sell to our stars. This isn't the place, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's kind of what it is. Now, I'm going to try here to do a little screen share. And I want to show you the 6 easy steps. We'll see if this works. Okay, somebody give me a thumbs up if you can see that. Okay, perfect. All right, so the 6 easy steps to become a star. Number 1, say yes to joining the Star Factory, or for each of you, fill in the blank, however you want. It might be a Marco Polo group, whatever, okay? 2, decide how you would like to become a star. This is really the section that you want to focus on, okay? Because I just had a lady that I enrolled earlier this month with a flip kit. Last night, while we were doing the Zoom talking about Sharing Made Easy, she placed a 551 PV order and became a star herself. So she did number 1. I had no clue that that was coming, and yay for her. She is now a star. Now, she hasn't earned the star bonus because she did it all herself, but she did become a star with a 500 PV purchase. Second way, host a class, online, in person. You know the drill. We can't really do in person at the moment, but we can certainly do online classes. How about just calling 4 or 5 friends and talking to them on the phone and telling them what you love and asking them if that would be a good fit for them. And obviously you can do any combination of the above. Now, if I was rewriting this now, you better believe that I would encourage people to structure their star business to earn that silver bound bonus. So I hope that everybody here knows what that looks like, but you want to get 500 in OGV, and then you want to have 2 legs of 200 OGV, okay? So that you can get that extra silver bound bonus, which is essentially like enrolling an extra person, okay? Next item, number 3, partner with your upline or crossline buddy, okay? It could be your downline as well, but basically we don't want anybody to feel like they're in this alone. We want them to be collaborating. We want there to be accountability for fun and follow through. And I just think it makes it easier. Number 4, do not underestimate the power of putting your plan on paper. It's a whole lot of alliteration right there. Did you catch that? We have to write things down to make them real. It cements it in our brain. And plans put on paper, they seem to come to fruition a lot more than plans that are just thought about, you know, out in the universe. Number 5, accumulate that 500 OGV, hit your goal. And number 6, this is the beauty, friends. Invite each of your team members to consider the Star Factory invitation. Repeat the process, okay? So we want every new member that you enroll to be given the same opportunity so that they can put that duplication into process and help their new member become a star. So important tips. And this document is readily available. So you can screenshot it. I can send you the PDF, whatever. But this just kind of goes over the tips of how I put it into practice and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go back here. So when somebody on our team hits star, we send them a little happy mail, and I will show you what I send, but you have to make me a promise. Because I know the inclination, somebody is going to type in that chat box, where do you get those? Show me the link. And I want you to know before I even show you, it's not about the widget. It's not about the thing. It's about the recognition, okay? So this is what I do. I'll bet you many of you have far better ideas. I like to kind of keep things easy. So we have literally done the same thing since 2015. I know that seems boring, but whatever. This is a travel oil case, okay? And it has room in the front. You can stick in your business card or whatever, your license, your credit card. This could be your purse, I don't know. But inside, it's just one of those oil cases that has room for 12 little sample bottles. And the psychology for me behind this is that if it is possible to train someone to use their oils at home, I want to take it to the next level, and I want to teach them that it's even better to have them with them when they're on the go. Because we all know that your oils are only as effective to you as they are close to you, okay? And if you slam your finger in your car door at Target, and Target's 20 miles away from your house, that's gonna be a really painful ride home if you do not have one of these in your car, okay? So I don't care what your oil bag looks like. Maybe it looks like this. Maybe it looks like this. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But these are easy for me to mail, and they are not terribly expensive because I buy them by the hundreds. And it's pretty fun to just know that everybody that has hit star on our team has one of these, and whether they use it or they gift it, that's not my thing. I want to just acknowledge and recognize what they do. So that is what we do. I am sure that you have amazing ideas that you can send out. And to everybody who's saying that they'd like the flyers, absolutely, we'll make sure that you all get those, no problem. So it is simply a duplication thing, you guys. If we can help focus all the energy and praise and recognition on helping newer members become stars, I promise you that the senior stars and the executives and the silvers, those ranks take care of themselves. It's amazing. So here's the fun math. I hate math, but I love Young Living math. Did you know that? Young Living math is amazing. Okay, here's what I want you to do today. I would like for you to open up your virtual office, and I challenge you to run a report of all the people in, let's do March, because March was a full month, okay? All the people in March that had 0 PV. So all our friends that did not order, okay? This is total hypothetical math, but it's really exhilarating, okay? So you're gonna get that number, and whatever that is, if you had 25 people that didn't order or 250 people that didn't order, you're gonna take that number times 500. You're going to pretend for just a moment that you helped every single one of those people hit the rank of star. And I want you to just hold on to the arms of your chair, because it's going to rock your world, and find out what your OGV would look like if that happened. Okay, now I know I'm a dreamer. Okay, so let's bring it down a notch. Let's just say, after you figure that out, let's say, okay, we know not everybody is going to do this. Okay, what if 50% of your 0 PVs became a star? And I can promise you, you're still going to be blown away. Because I didn't write this down, and now, shoot, I don't want to tell you the wrong number, but it was so insanely baffling. I think when I calculated this, back in 2015, I think that we would have added somewhere around 2 million OGV to our team if all the 0 PVs had just magically become stars that month. And I was just like, what? So we're talking, you know, even if we just helped a couple go from not ordering to ordering, that would be amazing. But I'm not even suggesting in this whole concept that you have to start with your 0 PVs. Go look for the people that are at 300 PV or 400 PV and cheer them on across that finish line. Tell them how close they are and how awesome this is going to be. And those are your really, really low-hanging fruit. And then we talk to them about helping the people under them. Okay, so that's kind of the who and the what and the how of the Star Factory. And I just want to thank you for joining. If you have any other questions, you know, you can reach out to me. And hang on.